Hello dear students, in this video we are going to learn about topic 16.6 in which we will understand that the sunlight which appears to us as a white light actually it is made up of 7 different colors. Okay, so we are going to understand this with the help of activity. So in the activity 16.7 we have to get a plane mirror, okay, of a suitable size. Then we will place it in a bowl. As you can see in this image, this is the plane mirror which is kept in the bowl. Okay, now fill the bowl with the water. Okay, and when this arrangement is ready, we will keep this in front of a window from which sun rays are directly falling on this arrangement. Okay, so now adjust the position of bowl so that the reflected light from the mirror falls on the wall. We can also use a white sheet in place of wall. Okay, so when we will see the incident lights, the incident rays falls on the mirror, these are the incident rays, okay, which will fall on the mirror and then they will get deflected towards the sheet, white sheet, and we will see the different 7 colors which from which the sunlight is made. Okay, so this phenomenon is known as the dispersion of light. Okay, so rainbow is also a natural phenomena showing dispersion of light. Okay, now we are going to understand about the different parts which are present inside our eye. Okay, so the eye has a roughly spherical shape. The outer coat of the eye is white. It is tough so that it can protect the interior of the eye from accidents. Its transparent front part is called cornea. Okay, so this part is cornea. As you can see, it is labeled. Okay, behind the cornea we find a dark muscular structure called iris. This is the iris. In the iris there is a small opening called pupil. Okay, and we already know that when we go in a dark room, the size of pupil becomes very large, and when we come into bright light, the size of pupil become very small. Okay, so it is controlled by iris. The iris is that part of eye which gives its distinctive color. When we say that a person has a green eye, okay, so these outer lining, okay, these are the outer lining which are known as iris. Okay, so when we say that a person has a green eyes, we refer actually to the color of iris. Okay, the iris controls the amount of light entering into the eye. So the lens focuses light on the back of eye on a layer called retina. The retina contains several nerve cells. Sensation felt by the nerve cells are then transmitted to the brain through the optic nerve. There are two kinds of cells: cones which are sensitive to bright light and rods which are sensitive to dim light. Okay, so cone sense color at the junction of the optic nerve and the retina. There are no sensory cells, so no vision is possible at that spot. This is called the blind spot. So blind spot is located here. Okay, because no sensory cells are present at that site. So now let us watch a video about it.
The outer layer of the eye is called the cornea. It's white in color and transparent. Transparent? Yes, it means that it allows light to pass through it. In fact, cornea of the eye is called the cornea. It's white in color and transparent. Transparent? Yes, it means that it allows light to pass through it. In fact, cornea refracts or bends the light passing through it. And much of the refraction inside the eye is done by cornea. But wait, it not only refracts light but also protects the inner parts of the eye. It acts like a tough front wall of the eye, protecting the interior of the eye from accidents and also does not allow foreign particles to enter. Okay, so this was all about the outer layer of the eye. Let's now talk about the things present inside. Behind the cornea, there's a dark muscular structure called the iris. Iris determines the color of the eye. For instance, when we say that a person has blue eyes, it means that the color of the iris of the person's eye is blue. Now there is a small opening at the center of the iris for the light to enter. Do you know what it's called? It's called the pupil. The iris actually acts like a shutter of a camera. It controls the amount of light entering the eye by enlarging or shrinking and thereby adjusting the size of the pupil. For example, when you focus the light from the torch directly into a person's eye, the iris shrinks. This is because the intensity of light is too much for the eyes to bear. The shrinking iris stops the unwanted light from entering through the pupil. And when there's less light, it expands, allowing more light to enter through the pupil. Okay, what happens next? The light that enters through the pupil falls on the lens kept behind. The lens is a convex lens. Convex lens is a lens which is thicker at the center than the edges. It's a converging lens. That is, it focuses all the light at one point. In a normal regular eye, this point is somewhere here on this inner boundary called retina. Why do I say a normal eye? Well, in a defective eye, this point of focus may lie either in front of the retina or behind the retina. We will talk about this defect of eye in our future videos, but first, retina is at the back of the eye and marks the inner layer of the eyeball. Retina contains lots of nerve cells that sense the light. The nerve cells are of two kinds, namely cones, which are sensitive to bright light, and rods, which are sensitive to dim light. The message or sensation is then transferred to the brain along the optic nerve. Okay, let's quickly recap what we learned about the human eye. Human eye has a roughly spherical shape. The outer part of an eye, called the cornea, is a thick white transparent wall which protects the eye from accidents and keeps the foreign particles from entering inside. Behind the cornea, the colorful part of the eye, called the iris, is present. It has a small opening at the center called pupil. Iris controls the light entering through the pupil by contracting and expanding. Behind the pupil, there is a converging lens which focuses the light on retina. Retina consists of two types of nerve cells, namely cones and rods. They transfer the message through the optic nerve. There is a lot of information to digest. In the next video, we will talk.
So thank you student, that is all for the today's session, and we will understand the further chapter in the next video.